Alright guys, so last night I had a dream. I was in some sort of hospital. It also kind of felt like a stadium for like a football game. But for the hospital part, when I was in there, I think I was in the hospital like a patient, but I was younger, like I was pretty little, like the age of 10 or under when I was a patient. And yeah, I feel like I was in there with my brothers or something like that. So that was at some point, and then at some other point, we were over here and we had to like walk through the hospital. And I think just my family was there, my immediate family was there, and yeah, we had to like walk through the hospital to go get something. And I think that when we were walking through, there were all these like little kids, like kids at the age of 5 who were there, who had like treatment or something. And I remember having like an interaction with a couple, like a little girl that was there, and it was positive. It was just like a fun, you know, like you like to play with little kids, so just like smiling at her or something. So some sort of interaction with the little girl there, maybe some other kids that were in the hospital. Of course, at that point, I don't think I was a patient in the hospital. It felt more like I was going to like a football game or something like that, like a pro football game, some sporting event. And then, so okay, we walked through the hospital. And then then after we get out of the hospital, it kind of morphed into a dream, or into a scene that felt like I was like outside of a city. So it felt like there was a city a few miles in, but I was more on the outskirts of this city, and it was like a hut thing. Not a hut, but it was like a shelter. And so at this point, it felt almost like post-apocalyptic, kind of. Not in a negative, scary way, but it just, there weren't that many people, like a survival type way. It felt like some survival type shelter thing. And then right behind that, the shelter thing I was at, there were some train tracks. And I remember a train went by. And at one point, I could be mixing up the timelines, but at one point, I think I tried to grab onto the train as it was moving, or maybe I did successfully get on top of the train when it was moving. And yeah, there was some sort of issue, and that happened when I was on top of the train. And you know, okay, so that happened. And yeah, before the train thing or whatever, so I think the shelter thing I was at, with the train tracks behind it, I think the shelter thing I was at was a mix of my grandma's backyard, my grandma's old backyard, because there were like wood chips on the ground and stuff like that. So yeah, the shelter was physically something like my grandma's old backyard. And yeah, that's all I can remember for this dream. I know some other stuff happened. Oh, okay, so when we left the football stadium, we were walking to the parking lot, and okay, yeah, so we left the football stadium, we were walking to the parking lot, and then we were in the parking lot. Okay, and then so I think physically, the parking lot that we were in felt like there's a ship called like St. Mary's or something in Los Angeles. It's like a tourist ship that's parked in the dock. And so yeah, physically, the parking lot was, I think, a lot like the parking lot for that like tourist ship in Los Angeles. Okay, and then something happened in the parking lot, not bad or not serious, but just like, I think something happened, like we were playing sports. Like there was an area here and an area here in the parking lot, and the area here, I think me and my brothers were playing sports or something, because when we went, the first time my family went to that tourist ship thing in Los Angeles, we were kicking on the soccer ball beforehand while we were waiting. So yeah, there was a mix, physically there was a mix of that memory / space in the dream, because yeah, I'm pretty confident the parking lot my brain was physically making it like the parking lot for that ship. And yeah, now I think that's it, and I think that's all I can remember. Yeah, thanks for checking out my dream, guys. Today is February 16th. Oh, actually, later in the dream, I can't even say that part, but you know, I think some other stuff happened when I was in the hospital, I think. But thanks for checking out my dream, guys.